Good evening. My name is Joe Guglielmo, and I'm privileged to serve as Dean of the University of California, San Francisco School of Pharmacy. On behalf of our faculty, staff, residents, and alumni, I welcome you to a joyous celebration of the first ever UCSF School of Pharmacy 3-year journey, that of the class of 2021. This is indeed a special class. You are the first to experience our transformed curriculum, integrated, steeped in science, however, always with the patient front and center. This bold initiative represents the best of your school's history, preparing our leaders now and into the future. You needed to learn a new vocabulary with words like foundation, inquiry, integrated themes, discovery project. Class of 2021, I remember vividly, as do you, how your curricular journey began. The first day, the first hour, you met a patient, Jerry, whom Dr. Kokahoba expertly interviewed. Why did we start with this interview? Patients are at the center of all we do, the core of how and what you learn. Dr. Kokahoba ensured all Jerry's drugs were as safe, effective, necessary, and the doses were appropriate. The empathy she displayed for Jerry was palpable. It hinted at your future, a yet-to-be-realized vision that each and every patient deserves the very best medication therapy. Class of 2021, we called you pioneers, and you are. We have been equal partners implementing a curriculum like none other in the world. The journey was not without its challenges, and you were appropriately candid reminding us of that fact. You demonstrated the necessary professionalism, maturity, and insight for continuous curricular improvement. Our overarching curricular goal is in the DNA of your school. We have equipped you with the skills to anticipate and embrace the unexpected, never-ending changes associated with today's dynamic healthcare environment and, frankly, life in general. Little did we anticipate how the pandemic would shape your final year and the way in which you would learn and live. We certainly did not anticipate this evening's commencement would move to a now all too familiar virtual format. As the pandemic hit, you were set to begin your clinical training. You faced the pandemic's challenge with characteristic professionalism and positivity. Your dedication to patients and the resolve with which you have faced these challenges has earned our respect. I join our faculty and preceptors in commending you for your commitment and perseverance during these extraordinary times. We are proud that you are part of the UCSF School of Pharmacy and are now joining the ranks of our distinguished alumni. This evening, we celebrate the class of 2021 with pride, enthusiasm, and respect as pioneers in pharmacy education. We celebrate them for their determination and resilience in the midst of a healthcare crisis that has fundamentally changed our lives. Class of 2021, what you have experienced these past 3 years is unparalleled by any graduating class. We will never forget the always empathetic, critical thinking pioneers of the class of 2021. It has been our privilege to teach, collaborate, and mentor you. You have inspired us and enriched our program. We chose each of you, and you chose us, 96 individuals with diverse life experiences, a passion for pharmacy, and intriguing talents and perspectives. We believed then, and it's abundantly clear now, that this class would uniquely enhance the school and the profession. 20% of you were born outside the U.S., China, Ethiopia, Iran, Jordan, South Korea, Kuwait, Panama, Sudan, Syria, Taiwan, Thailand, and Vietnam. You came to us as scientists, students, teachers, researchers, business owners, refugees, and volunteers. Your talents are vast. Athletes, musicians, a portraitist, dancers, photographers, artists, activists, translators, and mentors. Your backgrounds are diverse. Among this class include those with backgrounds in veterinary science, theology, public health, epidemiology, technology, and cosmetology. Among your classmates is an All-American swimmer, a former equestrian, and a twin. You are parents and partners. Your loves include science, arts, the outdoors, travel, good food, and community. Among your ranks is a Marine veteran who served in Afghanistan, a future military officer, and a veteran spouse. A number of graduates hail from proud military families. Among you are second-generation pharmacists, at least one with parents who are UCSF alumni. A third of you are first in your family to earn a college degree. We celebrate that your success and this degree represents your family's dream. In some cases, this is exactly the reason your family came to this country. Some of you are parents. Your children inspire your ambition, determination, and drive. You have in turn inspired us as you navigated the unique demands of school and parenthood. As one member of your class shared, "My son has made me the person I am today." Class of 2021, you came to us guided by your drive, determination, empathy, vision, faith, and desire to heal. Many of you have endured great hardship, including economic and social challenges, health issues, and devastating loss. You have been raised in large families and by single parents, brothers, sisters, grandparents, aunts, and uncles. You have experienced how language and economic barriers affect access to health care for you and your loved ones. You are grateful for the sacrifices of family, parents, grandparents, aunts, and uncles that paved your path. Class of 2021, you impressed us from the moment you applied to UCSF. I reviewed your admissions essays, which confirm why we uniquely admitted you. You described yourselves as passionate and driven to serve the underserved, misunderstood, and the forgotten of our healthcare system. A variety of circumstances led this class to the profession and to UCSF. For some, personal healthcare experience shaped your career path. A few quotes from you. "I recognize the desperation, the worry, and the fear I see in patients' eyes. They were once in mine. But I also believe they have a chance to live healthy again, just like me." Another, "I'm ready to dedicate my life to helping others through the similar pain my family and I endured during my father's illness. I know that finding a cure for cancer may sound cliché, but a girl can dream." For others, life circumstances fueled your purpose. "Many in the Hmong community believe women should be obedient and submissive. With this belief, many first-generation Hmong American women, like I, struggled to expand the mold we were in. I struggled to find a place in my culture, a voice for myself, and a path to my dreams, so I sought for an escape, which opened my world to science. This escape of reality to a world beyond me paved the foundation for my life journey." Another, "I'm often told I'm sorry when I tell my friends and colleagues about my life. There's no reason to be sorry. I would not be the person standing before them today without those experiences. I lost my parents when I was young, but through these events, I gained strength and learned how to truly empathize with others. Pharmacy offers me a chance to pursue something I love. I know my path in life is to help others. I know my parents would be proud of me." The challenge ahead of you was clear, as one of you surmised. Pharmacy school is going to be demanding, and sometimes it may not be entirely what we envisioned. But Pushing your limits and leaving your comfort zone are the risks that one must take to see what we are capable of and what we can accomplish. Challenge notwithstanding, you are determined as members of this class so eloquently commented. All of my obstacles have taught me that life is short. Don't be afraid to try again, and don't shy away from imperfections. Why should anyone devote his or her life to medicine, to pharmacy, a profession with high stakes and daunting expectations where failure is easy, effortless? The answer is clear. Lives are on the line. In this line of work, there's an unwavering responsibility to permit each person to lead a life free from illness as science will allow. These quotes are but a few examples of the rich depth of this class. There are many more that are equally inspiring and impressive. During your time as student pharmacists, you serve the community with a focus on the underserved. You experience the exhilaration of accomplishment as well as pain of personal and family illness and loss. You celebrated the diversity within your class. As advocates and allies, you spoke up and supported one another and your patients. You embraced the San Francisco diversity. You exemplified the power of friendship and the meaning of family. You have consistently excelled, and we anxiously await to see your contributions. They will be bold, innovative, and uniquely you. All that said, let's consider who is here this evening for this virtual celebration of the class of 2021. There are hundreds celebrating you. Joining us are partners, children, mothers and fathers, sisters and brothers, grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, and friends. Your supporters are with us from all over the world. Many who are here who could not have participated in an in-person event. We welcome you, knowing it is morning or the middle of the night for some. I know that each member of this class recognizes they would not have reached this day without the love and support of you, the family and friends, faculty, staff, and mentors who have supported this class on this journey. Each graduate has received a UCSF School of Pharmacy graduation stole, a gift from us to signify this life achievement. Graduates have been invited to give this stole as a symbol of thanks to someone who made this milestone possible. Members of the class of 2021, if you have yet to present your stole, feel free to do so now. You may recall that at your white coat ceremony, I asked you to do something. Today, nearly 3 years later, I will now ask you to do it again. Graduates in the class of 2021, wherever you are, please take a moment now to honor the people who have been there for you through thick and thin, your family, your friends, your mentors, and advocates. As this class knows all too well, your curriculum has been steeped in scientific thinking. Why? Why not? How? You are able to build and integrate knowledge while questioning, considering alternative possibilities, addressing problems effectively. You will now agree this approach is essential to patient care and pharmacy practice. While your curriculum has been steeped in scientific thinking, please always remember the human side. The patient is always front and center. Back to Jerry, the patient you met that very first hour of pharmacy school. Dr. Kokohoba just recently contacted Jerry and asked her what advice she might offer for you. Her response is as follows. Congratulations! I'm glad to know that you have succeeded. If you remember what I said to you that first hour, just be yourself and show concern for people. We really trust you and the information you give us regarding our medications. Class of 2021, you are the right class to begin our inaugural curricular journey, a journey no other school, no other class has ever taken. Thank you for your partnership and your amazing collegiality. We are fortunate you chose us. Each year, we ask the recipient of the UCSF Pharmacy Alumni Association Distinguished Alumnus Award to join our commencement ceremony. The Distinguished Alumnus Award recognizes a graduate who has made outstanding contributions to the profession of pharmacy and to society. It is my pleasure to introduce the 2021 Distinguished Alumnus, Dr. John Schall. Known for his generosity and noteworthy devotion to UCSF and the profession, Dr. Schall is a member of the class of 1971. 2021 marks the 50th anniversary of his UCSF graduation. After completion of his UCSF residency, Dr. Schall was particularly active with the California Pharmacists Association. John was CPHA Director of Health Programs, followed by promotion to Vice President, Professional Affairs. Much of CPHA's late 70s and early 80s success was due to John's diligence, his political prowess, and his dedication to the profession. In 1984, he founded and directed the Pharmaceutical Care Network, a national pharmacy benefits management company that provided services to more than 200 employers, union trusts, and health plans. Dr. Schall's contributions continued through a variety of professional positions in which he employed his skills in leadership and strategy to address unmet needs and advance the profession. John continued his entrepreneurial ways as president and co-founder of the National Specialty Pharmacy Administrators, a national network of independent specialty pharmacies. This opportunity was followed by his co-founding and presidency of FORA, a pharmaceutical group purchasing organization focused upon independent home care pharmacies servicing hemophilia patients. An intensely dedicated alumnus, his university service spans 18 years, including president of the School of Pharmacy Alumni Association and then president of the UCSF-wide Alumni Association. Dr. Schall is a selfless and effective advocate for pharmacy, an exemplary innovator, educator, and mentor with sustained service to UCSF. It is clear why Dr. John Schall is the 2021 Pharmacy Alumni Association Distinguished Alumnus. And it is our honor that he joins us today to offer his congratulations to the class of 2021.
Thank you. Chancellor Hawgood, Dean Guglielmo, members of the faculty and staff, and members of the class of 2021. I'm honored to address you as this year's distinguished alumnus. This is a special honor for me, as this is the 50th anniversary of my graduation. Members of the class of 2021, you are very fortunate to have graduated from UCSF, the #1 school of pharmacy in the universe. UCSF has given you an education that will enable you to practice in roles that may yet be defined. When I graduated, the opportunities for pharmacists were pretty limited. Community pharmacy, pharmacy practiced in the basement of hospitals, and research or sales for pharmaceutical manufacturers. I guess I was never destined to practice traditional pharmacy. I actually worked as a licensed community pharmacist for 3 full days. But fortunately for me, Dean Emeritus Bob Gibson saw that I had some administrative skills and arranged introductions that led to me going to work for the California Pharmacists Association. CPHA was advocating expanded roles for pharmacists, and I wanted to help define them. I was given the task of creating pharmaceutical care foundations that would make it possible for community pharmacies to provide services to patients enrolled in emerging HMOs. I hardly knew what an HMO was when I walked through the door. Unfortunately, the Department of Justice thought our foundations would result in price fixing. So we had to put the idea on the shelf, and I focused on other association activities. A few years later, we went back to our third-party payer plans, and I was able to guide the creation of a pharmacy benefits management company that ultimately employed a staff of 135, with 16 of them being pharmacists. Our pharmacists assisted health plan clients to implement evidence-based formularies that were designed to lead to the best therapeutic outcomes. We also developed algorithms to monitor drug usage for potential therapy problems. We found that prescribers welcomed the suggestion that our pharmacists offered, and patients got better drug therapy. These were roles for pharmacists that had not been thought of when I graduated. However, the foundation that I got from UCSF gave me the confidence to take on the unknown. I congratulate those of you who have decided to complete a residency. I'm sure you'll find that a residency will broaden your network and open doors to a fantastic career. It certainly did for me. I encourage you to stay connected with the school and the Alumni Association. I found that my tenure on the Alumni Association Board of Governors were some of the best years of my career. I was energized by interacting with my fellow alumni and, of course, the students at UCSF. I also encourage you to become active members of your professional associations. The associations exist to protect and expand your professional roles. So get involved and help chart the course of your future. Thank you for this opportunity. Please stay safe and healthy. And I hope that your career is as rewarding as the one I enjoyed. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Schall. The class of 2021 chose 2 members to serve as class speakers for commencement. The first speaker is Dr. Mare Virk. Graduated from UC Berkeley, Mare has been a UCSF leader, serving as class president, member of campus-wide student government, and state and national promotion of pharmacy. I'll tell you more about Mare a bit later, as she's a nominee for the Bowl of Hygeia Award. Suffice to say, she has distinguished herself for the empathy she brings to her patients, her collaboration as a team member, and dedication as a self-driven learner. I quote Mare's admissions essay in which she thanks her grandmother, Nani. I had awe and reverence for Nani's basket of vials. Nani credited her medications for making it possible for her to lead a life as normal as possible in the aftermath of a grave condition. There was one person who helped her make sense of all the medications that gave her a fighting chance. This person was nothing short of a superhero to me. This person was her pharmacist. And more than anything, I wanted to be just like her. We are fortunate that Mare had this early inspiration. I look forward to what Dr. Virk has to say.
Dear distinguished faculty, alumni, friends, family, beloved pets, and of course the class of 2021T. I am honored to be speaking to you all today as we gather to celebrate the commencement of the UCSF School of Pharmacy Class of 2021T. Who would have thought the journey we embarked upon as the first 3-year cohort at UCSF would end in such an unprecedented manner? But as I reflect on our time together, I realize that there is no better cohort to have faced the challenges, rejoiced in the wins, and remained resilient in the face of adversity. We have been called pioneers from the beginning of pharmacy school, and as we take a trip down memory lane, you too will see that trailblazing was the name of our game. During our P1 year, our cohort utilized our pharmacist in training skill set to communicate, collaborate, and adapt to the block system, while the donning of our white coats brought equal parts excitement and feelings of imposter syndrome. We slowly but surely got to know one another during lectures in HSW, skills labs in the IRC, and some even met their closest friends through random immunization practice pairings. Before we knew it, we were set loose in the city to exercise our newfound abilities as pharmacy interns in the community setting. But no matter how far we may have gone, we could always reconvene for breakfast before class at Moffitt. The hash browns are a real crowd pleaser. As the year progressed, we found our footing as we were welcomed by the other pharmacy cohorts and got our first taste of interprofessionalism, both in working through small group cases and playing intramural sports with the other health disciplines. As we wrapped up our busy first year, Carl the Fog was sure to stay, but individuals made their way to sites throughout California for their summer hospital rotations. We may not have known what antibiotics our patients should be on or how to adjust insulin just yet, but what we lacked in knowledge at the time, we made up for with the enthusiasm we brought into our P2 year. Our class stepped up as the leaders on campus. Some became registered campus organization board members, many balanced a hectic school schedule with work experience, and others taught electives, allowing us to explore new, cutting-edge technology with cannabis, as well as how we can incorporate social determinants of health into our clinical practice. We continue to fine-tune our experiences at UCSF with representatives in our class cabinet and student government shaping our legacy. We continue to step up in the professional setting by completing our longitudinal hospital rotations and advocated for our profession and patients by marching for healthcare as a right. And although this busy year didn't leave much time to stop and smell the roses, we ended the year learning about Dr. McDougall's antibiotic flower diagrams. Unbeknownst to us all, our final infectious disease exam would be the last time we would all be on the UCSF campus together, as our plans to collaborate in person for our research projects and say our goodbyes before appies gave way to quarantining, social distancing, and mask wearing with the emergence of the COVID-19 pandemic. Our experience as pharmacy students was in limbo, as rotations were lost and changed, but our cohort was flexible throughout that time, rose to unfamiliar occasions, and remained resilient through it all of which are a testament to the pharmacists I know each of us is capable of becoming. Our role as pioneers took on a new meaning as our cohort responded to the call for action by educating family, friends, and our communities on the realities of COVID-19 to doing our part to model what it means to act selflessly. Now to present day, our cohort has shown up in full force on the front lines to aid in the vaccination efforts in spreading awareness about the available vaccines and dispelling myths, all made possible by the tools we were equipped with in our training. As we start to see the light at the end of the tunnel grow brighter, I want to take a moment to address the way in which our cohort continues to stand up and speak out in support of Black Lives Matter and the Asian American Pacific Islander community. As pharmacists, we take an oath that states I will consider the welfare of humanity and relief of suffering my primary concerns. As students, we train to be in a position to protect the trust that others place in us. Trust that lies in our training to provide safe and efficacious treatment, and inherently so, trust that we are the type of people who are driven by the desire to treat our patients to the best of our ability. That how we see our patients is not in spite of, but because of what makes them who they are. The color of their skin, their sexual identity, the experiences that have shaped their lives. These are not to be denounced, feared, or brushed to the side, but to be the lens through which we as pharmacists, and more importantly, as people, must look through to truly see those around us. To see and hear many use their voice for the greater good, and to speak out against injustice is further proof that this cohort will not only stand up for others, but that we will use the Doctor of Pharmacy degree as a vector for change, where the individuals who hold this title are up to the task of practicing at the highest possible standard. I want to leave off with one final thought. As the late Kobe Bryant once said, a lot of leaders fail because they don't have the bravery to touch that nerve or strike that chord. To the class of 2021T, I challenge us to find that bravery within and live a life unafraid of touching a nerve or striking a chord. Because if these last 3 years have taught me anything, it's that every individual in this room is capable of leaving a legacy beyond the walls of UCSF. And that is something I can't wait to see. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Verk. This evening's second student speaker is Dr. Julia Dinger. Graduate of UC Davis and the UCSF Interprofessional Health Post-Baccalaureate program, she currently serves as mentor to current post-bac students. Julia interned at both Walgreens and Kentfield Hospital, as well as the Pill Club, a women's healthcare company offering national prescribing services. She was a pharmacovigilance scientist trainee with Greenwich Biosciences and served as secretary and third-year president of the class. She presented at AIDS 2020 on a project to assess the impact of COVID-related shelter-in-place orders on access and usage of PrEP and HIV risk behaviors. Her preceptors commend Julia for her organization, eagerness to learn, professionalism, enthusiasm, perceptive questions, and genuine interest in pharmacy. Her understanding of the important role of the pharmacist is derived from personal experience. Julia's words, "Witnessing my friend struggle with her medications imprinted upon me the critical role of pharmacists. While accuracy and efficiency are crucial, it should not be overlooked that prescriptions coordinate with faces and stories." Dr. Dinger.
Hello all. I am so excited to have this opportunity to speak to my fellow pharmacist. I couldn't be prouder of all of us in this graduating class, as well as the professors, alumni, friends, and family who guided us along the way. I want to start by acknowledging what a tremendous achievement it is for us to be here today, in spite of the many adversities we might have faced personally or more broadly, as we all adapted in a very strange and difficult year. So congratulations for making it across the finish line. With that, I want to transition to talk about the future. If this past year has taught us anything, it's that our roles as pharmacists are more than just jobs. They are essential to the well-being of cities and communities all across the world. We are privileged with the responsibility to continue learning, growing, and serving. As we move forward, many of us will go on to make different contributions. Some of us will go into research or industry, while others will go into community or clinical pharmacy. But wherever your path takes you in your pharmacy journey, it's important to acknowledge and remember that the only reason we are here today is because of the work that others did before us. And with that acknowledgement, we can consciously and intentionally pave the way for the ones that will come after us. The future is unknown and hard to predict, but the one thing we do know for certain is that the field of pharmacy is continually evolving. Throughout the pandemic, we've adapted to telehealth, removing barriers to health access, re-educated ourselves in a continually changing body of evidence surrounding coronavirus, and caring for patients despite many new precautions. This past year has changed the way patients and practitioners engage with the healthcare system forever. Even while the world moves towards automation, there's an undeniable value in human care, as we preserve a patient-centric focus, personal interactions, and a clinical thought process. I have no doubt this class will be critical members in propelling the field of pharmacy forward, helping to keep communities healthy and putting patients first. I've witnessed my peers connect a nationwide network of student activists against racism and police brutality, organize PPE drives for hospitals, participate in COVID testing sites, and administer thousands of COVID vaccinations. I look out at a class who stepped up in a huge time of need and will continue to do so in the future. Finally, even if we can't all gather in person, I want us to remember that a graduation ceremony doesn't celebrate just a moment in time. It's the culmination of all of our years of learning about the world and about ourselves. The friends and family who supported us every step of the way aren't just celebrating a degree, they're celebrating us, how we've grown, the challenges we've overcome, and the experiences we've shared. The point is, don't let a lack of a big, crowded ceremony take anything away from what our graduation signifies. With that, let's take this moment to pause and bask in the glory of our achievements. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Dinger. Every year, we choose an exceptional individual to deliver the centerpiece address of the commencement ceremony. This year, that exceptional individual delivered an address to your four-year program 2021 graduate colleagues, and now he will do so again today. Speakers all have one characteristic in common: a professional life filled with noteworthy, meaningful accomplishments. We look for someone who can inspire. I can guarantee you this is abundantly true for this afternoon's speaker and my colleague, Dr. Richard Carmona. The 17th Surgeon General of the United States, he's currently Chief of Health Innovations for Canyon Ranch, a distinguished professor at the University of Arizona, and a fellow of the American College of Surgeons. Born in New York City, Dr. Carmona experienced homelessness, hunger, and health disparities, sensitizing him to the relationships among culture, health, education, and economic status, and shaped his future. After dropping out of high school, Dr. Carmona enlisted in the U.S. Army. He earned his general equivalency diploma and was a combat decorated U.S. Army Special Forces Vietnam veteran. After leaving active duty, Dr. Carmona pursued higher education, culminating in 1979 with his UCSF medical degree. He was awarded the prestigious gold-headed cane as the top graduate in his class. Trained in general and vascular surgery, Dr. Carmona completed an NIH-sponsored fellowship in trauma, burns, and critical care. He became a regional and statewide medical leader and innovator in Arizona. Public health came as a second career as he recognized most of his patients' illnesses and injuries were completely preventable. This recognition resulted in a University of Arizona Master's in Public Health. If this is not enough, Dr. Carmona served for over 34 years with the Pima County as deputy sheriff, detective, SWAT team leader, and department surgeon. He is one of the most decorated police officers in Arizona. In 2002, Dr. Carmona was nominated and confirmed by the U.S. Senate as the 17th Surgeon General of the United States. In this role, he focused on prevention, preparedness, health disparities, health literacy, and global health to include health diplomacy. Dr. Carmona issued many landmark Surgeon General communications, including the definitive Surgeon General's report regarding the dangers of secondhand smoke. Lastly, I must take you back all the way to the time Rich was a surgical resident, while I was a very junior member of the faculty. Our paths crossed many times. I found myself in awe of his humanity, his positivity, his empathy for everyone, frankly, unique to the hundreds of residents with whom I worked. When I found out his graduating class honored him with the gold-headed cane, I nodded to myself. Of course they gave it to Rich Carmona. I continue to be in awe of Dr. Carmona to this very day. Dr. Carmona.
Hello, I'm Richard Carmona, the 17th Surgeon General of the United States and a distinguished professor. Also, a very proud graduate of the UCSF School of Medicine, its surgical residency and fellowship. I'm happy to be with this class of pioneers in the new 3-year curriculum who will be blazing ahead, as UCSF has always done in pharmacy. And I appreciate the opportunity and privilege to be with you and make a few remarks regarding this graduation. I wish I could be with you in person because UCSF is near and dear to my heart, as you will hear in just a moment, as is the College of Pharmacy and its leadership there. But in lieu of that, and because we're in COVID times and you all have done a fantastic job of being educated through COVID and probably learning a lot from COVID preparedness issues that pharmacists are so much involved in. So I want to tell you a little bit about my background and my passion not only for UCSF, but for the College of Pharmacy and pharmacy in general, even though I am not a pharmacist. I really considered this quite a privilege when the leadership asked me to address the College of Pharmacy, especially this pioneering group of students in the 3-year curriculum who are doing great things. My background to UCSF is not a traditional one. My parents were immigrants. They were poor. They spoke Spanish as a first language. I grew up in Harlem in New York City. I have 2 brothers and a sister, and what we had in common is that none of us graduated from high school. We all dropped out. But the block I lived on, there were no high school graduates. Everybody survived, lived day to day, paycheck to paycheck. My mom was a wonderful, emancipated woman who had a great vision, but struggled every day and many times was a single mom. As I grow older, she grows smarter. I should have listened to a lot of the things that she told me. You'll see in a moment why this is all important and how these dots get connected, and my passion for UCSF, as well as all of you in the College of Pharmacy. I was fortunate that at 17 years old, with no tangible skills, I enlisted in the Army and went away height of the Vietnam War, trained as a special forces medical specialist and weapons specialist, went off to combat, became a veteran, combat veteran. And it was mentors of mine from high school who never forgot about me. And when I came home from combat, had found a place for me in a junior college in New York City that took veterans and gave them a chance, even though I had no SATs, PSATs, and really no transcript to be able to present because of not attending high school too often. It was a humbling experience. Being among smart people, I moved to the reserve services rather than active duty. And after the first year, I caught up and did well. Worked a lot of jobs: police officer, paramedic, registered nurse, teacher, ocean lifeguard. Eventually did very well in college because of the discipline and focus I had. Never being the smartest kid in the class, but clearly being the most disciplined and focused. Largely skills I learned in the military. And my love for science and my love for being a physician, which again was somewhat not even aspirational, because my mother's goal was just to live long enough to go to a graduation. She only meant high school because nobody in the family had been out of high school. So I applied to a number of medical schools with a lofty aspiration of going to medical school, which wasn't sure that was ever going to come to fruition. But I was fortunate to get into many medical schools. I was in Southern California finishing college, and my first acceptance came in. It was a beautiful, sunny, 70-degree day. And the school I was accepted to was in New York City, very prestigious place, and it was snowing and very cold. My decision was immediately made that I would stay west. I then was fortunate to get in several schools on the West Coast. But when I came to UCSF to interview in 1975, 76, there was no doubt in my mind that this was the place for me. The diversity, the integrity, the excellence in all they did, just their reputation as being the best in just about everything they did. FDA funding, NIH funding, it was just incredible. So I decided to come to UCSF, and maybe one of the best decisions I ever made in my life. At UCSF, I did very well. I worked hard, I was focused, I was disciplined, I was able to be an honor student, and luckily I was able to finish in 3 years and begin my surgical residency at UCSF. And this is where doors opened up for me a great deal. As many of you know, in pharmacy, surgical residency is quite arduous. You age in dog years in those residencies. My first year, one of my first rotations was on the vascular service and then the cardiovascular service in Moffitt 7 back in those days. It was 79, 80. And we started our rounds, and one day we were told, we will have a new team member joining us today. He is what's called a clinical pharmacist, and he's from the College of Pharmacy and is going to support us in our patient care. Most of us thought that just meant with helping us fill out prescriptions and determining dosages. But the young man who they sent to us had a bigger idea. He had a vision for the future. He had a vision of what pharmacy was to be, but wasn't at that time, as one of the early proponents and a clinical pharmacist. So he made rounds, we became friends. I learned a lot about pharmacy, not only pharmacy itself, but the importance of pharmacy and pharmacology, physiology, and then all the things that we learned in medical school, kind of this guy knew as much as we did, if not more. That pharmacy person that joined the surgical team as one of the first clinical pharmacists at UCSF was a young guy named Joe Guglielmo, and we became friends over the next several decades because the lessons he taught me back then, because of his passion, his knowledge, the science, the rigorousness of his education, never left me. And I understood how important pharmacy was and is. So when the faculty reached out to me and said, would you be willing to give the commencement address, I said I'd be happy to. I don't want it to be a standard canned talk. I want to tell these young men and women how important pharmacy is from a first-hand experience. Not because I took pharmacology in medical school, but because I learned from the best, your dean. And because of that, I have an amazing respect for pharmacy. And what happened after that over the years was that every place I was, I understood this value. So as an attending physician, after being a resident and a fellow, understanding that I insisted that pharmacists need to be part of my team. When I ran the nutritional support team, one of the first people I recruited were pharmacists to start the first nutritional support team at the University of Arizona when I was a young attending and ran not only trauma and critical care, but the nutritional support team. Years later, as I move forward, close with pharmacy, and now and then keeping in touch with Joe and going back to UCSF for a lecture or visiting professorship, and just really understanding the exceptional training I had that set me apart from everybody else. The depth, the breadth, the diversity that you all have experienced, I experienced 40 years ago. And to this day, I pinch myself and think, wow, how fortunate I was to be at UCSF. Not just medical school, but to be among pharmacists, nurses, scientists, other professionals who changed my life. So interestingly enough, I had a chance to go back on active duty to be Surgeon General of the United States. And some of the best leaders I had in the United States Public Health Service were pharmacists. Some graduated from UCSF and had leadership positions way beyond pharmacy. They had positions of leadership in charge of deployments for emergency management, for tsunamis in Indonesia, for combat zone deployments, putting the first pharmacist in the combat zone in Iraq, as well as taking care of our soldiers, sailors, airmen, Coast Guard people all over the world. Pharmacists were an integral part of our health system, and I recognize that every single day. So as we move forward, and as Surgeon General and interfacing with all branches of government, one of the most requested specialty was I need a pharmacist. Agriculture, CDC, NIH, HRSA, SAMHSA, all people wanted a pharmacist because they valued the scientific acumen and the application of scientific theory. They valued the innovation, the disruptiveness that comes from that great thinking. And UCSF embodies that, and the School of Pharmacy. So one of my first presentations as Surgeon General to the APHA was me challenging the APHA to big ideas. Think about pharmacy in a different way. We need to expand the scope of practice. I don't just mean giving vaccines, which are so important today with our pharmacists, but really being a counselor to every patient. Health education, pharmacy education, and expand that scope of practice so pharmacists can be even more important in our teams, because it's not about us. It's about us serving them who give us the privilege to serve them. And so through all of that, through all those decades, it was conversations with a young, passionate pharmacist 40 years from before now that inspired me and had me fully realize the importance of pharmacy. So this is coming full circle for me to come to you and tell you the immense opportunities you have now, not only as this pioneering group in the new curriculum, but really to go out and truly change the world with the knowledge you have. Because make no mistake, you are coming from the best pharmacy school in the world with the best education, innovation, science. You're prepared to take on the world. I run into clinical problems now today, decades later after all of my training. And I think back, my gosh, I learned that. I learned that at UCSF. They told me what to expect. You'll find as you get older, UCSF is going to be even more credible to you because of the gifts they gave you and the education, training, and experience. So now it's time for you to think about what are you going to do in the future. Sure, you can be a pharmacist, but you're trained to just about do anything. Pharmacists are leaders. Leaders are responsible for the destiny of others, and pharmacists are responsible for the destiny of others on a daily basis, irrespective of the job they do. You've been well trained to take on that responsibility. So as you look forward, what I would encourage you to do is think about where you want to spend your time. Get up every morning with a sense of urgency. The world needs you now more than ever. You are being entrusted with the great legacy of UCSF College of Pharmacy, as well as the UCSF brand. How are you going to handle that? How are you going to leverage it to do better for everybody else? How are you going to use that legacy that you're entrusted with to bring good, to spread the word about science, to create health equity, to defeat social injustice? That's all within your realm as a pharmacist. So I ask you to think about that carefully. And as you go forward, make sure you understand that responsibility. Think back to your roots at UCSF. Think back to how proud all of those professors are going to be that you are now an emissary of UCSF School of Pharmacy, and you're out there changing the world. So I thank you for the opportunity of being with you today. I am really sorry I couldn't have the excuse to be back at UCSF. Unfortunately, COVID has prevented that because I relish every time I come back there. But most importantly, to meet all of you, hear your stories, hear your aspirations, to kind of get a sense of who you are and where you're going and how you're going to change this world that is entrusted to you now. Thank you again from the bottom of my heart. I wish you all the best, and I hope our paths will continue to cross. Be well.
Thank you, Dr. Carmona. We now come to the presentation of the Bowl of Hygeia Award. The Bowl of Hygeia is an internationally recognized symbol for the profession of pharmacy. Its origins are in Greek mythology. Hygeia is the goddess of health. The snake wrapped around a bowl, the bowl represents medicine, and the snake indicates potency. Consequently, the Bowl of Hygeia symbolizes pure and potent medicines. In 1966, the faculty and students created the Bowl of Hygeia Award as the highest honor bestowed upon a graduating student. The UCSF Pharmacy Alumni Association sponsors the production of this special piece of art. This award was redesigned last year, and the class of 2021 recipient will be the second to receive the Bowl of Hygeia, redesigned for a new generation of outstanding awardees. It is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Greg Smith, President of the UCSF Pharmacy Alumni Association, to welcome our newest alumni on behalf of the Alumni Association. A member of the class of 1992, Dr. Smith has been with Kaiser for more than 15 years and today serves as Interim Chief Operating Officer for Northern California Kaiser Pharmacy. In that role, he leads Kaiser's COVID vaccine efforts in Northern California. An alumnus of the UCSF Pharmacy Leadership Institute, prior to joining Kaiser, he held a wide range of clinical sales and program director roles for pharmaceutical and medical device companies, as well as pharmacy benefit management organizations. He's been a volunteer clinical faculty member at UCSF since 1996 and served on the Pharmacy Alumni Association Board of Governors since 2014. Dr. Smith is a successful pharmacy advocate and leader, as well as an enthusiastic and supportive mentor to student pharmacists and alumni. Dr. Smith.
Hello and congratulations to the University of California, San Francisco School of Pharmacy Class of 2021T. My name is Greg Smith, and I'm the President of the Pharmacy Alumni Association Board of Governors. I'd like to recognize the UCSF faculty and families in attendance that were key in making your accomplishment possible. The Alumni Association exists to support and mentor our students and champion the alumni and faculty of the best school of pharmacy on the planet. Key activities of the PAA include hosting events at professional conferences, providing financial support to our students, and recognizing distinguished alumni and graduating students. That said, I'm here today to briefly speak to you about the Bowl of Hygeia Award. As Dean Guglielmo discussed, this honor recognizes the individual who best exemplifies the qualities most desirable in a pharmacist in action, thought, and attitude. Most important of these attributes are leadership, ability, enthusiasm, and dedication, not only as they relate to the profession of pharmacy, but also to humanity in general. I'd like to highlight a few names of current and former board members who received this award. Dan Furtado, class of 1969. Stuart Akahashi, 1983. Marilyn Stebbins, 88. Virginia Chu, 98, and Crystal Pong in 2011. Lastly, I will say that all candidates being considered for this award from the class of 2021T are truly remarkable, inspiring, and bring great pride to myself and fellow PAA board members. Thank you. Congratulations to the finalists for this award, to all graduating students today, and have fun.
The recipient of the Bowl of Hygeia is chosen through a 2-round process. In the first round, the class selects the finalists who best exemplify the qualities most desirable in a pharmacist. I can confirm that leadership, ability, enthusiasm, and dedication to the profession and humankind are abundantly evident in all 5 of this class's finalists. In the second round of voting, faculty and students select the recipient. We will recognize each nominee individually for their achievements and contributions. A plaque with the citation I read this evening will be sent to each nominee. Dr. Ellen Berkeley. Ellen Berkeley embodies creativity and innovation in everything she does, exemplifying the leadership and essential qualities of a top-tier pharmacist. Classmates describe her as bright, thoughtful, honest, conscientious, passionate, and selfless. Her active professional engagement as a speaker and writer regarding digital health and pharmacy are noteworthy. These, combined with her contributions to group learning sessions, have inspired students and faculty, earning accolades as a rock star in digital pharmacy. Ellen is always willing to go out of her way to help others with kindness and care, and consistently displays compassion, positivity, as well as the eagerness both to share and to learn. An excellent communicator, innovative thinker, and advocate for pharmacy, Ellen Berkeley is poised to lead pharmacy to its true potential. Dr. Berkeley will begin a residency this summer at the University of California, Davis Medical Center with a special focus on ambulatory care. Dr. Gabrielle Driller. Professional, dynamic, passionate. These are but a few of the adjectives classmates and faculty use to describe Gabrielle Driller. She has worked tirelessly on behalf of her class to ensure students' ideas and concerns are heard, from curricular improvement to student support to professional competitions. Gabby leads with approachability and professionalism, listening carefully, articulating issues clearly, and taking action to promote community and input. An outstanding student, Gabby is a mature self-starter, blending a can-do approach with grace, compassion, and dedication to the needs of others. Gabby will no doubt flourish as a caring, competent pharmacist who represents the highest standards of a UCSF PharmD. Dr. Driller heads to the South Bay this summer to begin an acute care pharmacy practice residency at Stanford Healthcare. Dr. Neve O'Grady. Neve O'Grady exemplifies the characteristics of a respected pharmacist and leader. She's knowledgeable, trustworthy, and confident. A role model for all students with respect to professional behavior and academic excellence, she is bright, caring, and always willing to offer assistance and support. Recognizing the need for a peer teaching program, she collaboratively established a program which will benefit students for years to come. Classmates describe Neve as a positive light. She's humble, approachable, enthusiastic, and accomplished. Her attitude, thoughtfulness, open-mindedness, and leadership cemented her reputation as a respected colleague and healthcare provider. As one classmate commented, Neve will definitely go on to create amazing innovations in the field of pharmacy. We have no doubt that she will do just that. This summer, Dr. O'Grady heads east to Connecticut to begin a pharmacy practice residency at Yale New Haven Hospital. Dr. Judy Vaduya. Judy Vaduya brings to patients and colleagues the characteristics of an ideal pharmacist. She is reliable, charismatic, thoughtful, and trustworthy. She's kind, compassionate, and always willing to help others, consistently modeling what a UCSF student pharmacist should aspire to be. Judy has been an active advocate to improve the experience of the class through an inclusive approach to leadership that empowers others. Judy sees potential in others and finds solutions in response to challenges. Her warm, friendly, and nurturing style, combined with her professionalism and respect, have earned her admiration across the school. As a classmate notes, Judy will be making waves in this profession, and I cannot wait to see what she does. Dr. Viduya will remain in San Francisco in the coming year as she begins a pharmacy practice residency at California Pacific Medical Center. Dr. Mayor Virk. Mayor Virk's compassion, supportiveness, positivity, and perseverance, combined with her drive, service, and dedication to others, predict her potential in pharmacy. Mayor's personality and presence enable her to effectively able to lead a team focused on common goals, to represent the concerns of her peers, and to champion the health needs of her patients. She deftly uses social media to tell the stories of student pharmacists and promotes the profession at every opportunity. A quick learner with a growth mindset and exceptional self-reflection skills, Mayor directs her own learning with enthusiasm and excellence. Described as someone with big plans, Mayor's classmates are quote-unquote confident she will be an extraordinary pharmacist who will make an impact on the field. Based on her phenomenal performance and attitude, Mayor's bright future is certain. Dr. Virk is also headed to Sacramento this summer to begin an acute care residency at UC Davis Health. Please appreciate, while only one person will receive the Bowl of Hygeia Award, it is the highest of honors to be among the finalists, particularly since your classmates are the ones who honored you. This is an outstanding slate of nominees. I extend my congratulations and admiration to each of you. In the eyes of your classmates and the faculty, the 5 of you are the best student pharmacists in the world. The moment has come to reveal this year's awardee. I am pleased to announce that the 2021 recipient of the Bowl of Hygeia Award is Dr. Ellen Berkeley. Ellen, the Bowl of Hygeia will soon be on its way to you. My congratulations to you, Dr. Berkeley, and to all the class of 2021 nominees. It's now my pleasure to introduce Vice Dean Sharon Yeomans and a member of the class of 1985. Dr. Yeomans holds a master's in public health from San Jose State University. She joined the faculty in 2001 and served as vice chair for education in the Department of Clinical Pharmacy from 2007 to 2013, when she then assumed the role of vice dean. She has been focused on continuous improvement on pharmacy education and working collaboratively with other UCSF education programs. Her research interests include health literacy and health communication, including culturally sensitive communication strategies to enhance medication compliance. She's provided pharmacy services to San Francisco residents through Glide Health Services, which focuses on homeless and uninsured patients. Service and research interests are in medication management, adherence, health literacy, and medication safety. Her professional contributions have been international in scope. She's worked with faculty in Tanzania on curricular reform, and she served on a research team focused on providing health and HIV/AIDS information to the people of Malawi. She's a member of the Haile T. Tabas Academy of Medical Educators, the UCSF Center for Faculty Educators. And Dr. Yeomans recently joined the board of directors of the Accreditation Council for Pharmacy Education, where she represents the American Association of Colleges of Pharmacy. The class knows she is the heart and soul, driving force, and champion of our bold new curriculum, and a warm, generous, and inspiring leader, mentor, and colleague to students and faculty alike. Dr. Yeomans will offer her perspective on this momentous occasion for the class of 2021. Dr. Yeomans.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the class of 2021's commencement ceremony. Commencement is my favorite academic activity. a celebration that brings joy and happiness to me, and I am sure to each graduate and their families. I wish to extend my heartfelt congratulations to our graduates on a job well done and a remarkable achievement earning your Doctor of Pharmacy degree. As Vice Dean, I am charged with the oversight of the curriculum, and it has been my privilege to serve you in this role. When you all accepted our offer of admission, you knew that in July 2018, we would be launching a new curriculum. From day one, we saw you not only as outstanding students, but also as pioneers. You were willing to take a chance on a curriculum that was new, novel, and disrupted the norms of pharmacy education. We worked together as thought partners, and most importantly, we learned together, and you provided valuable information that allowed faculty and staff to make improvements. Our goal was to build a curriculum that would prepare you to meet the health challenges of the 21st century and the complex health needs and health inequities experienced by our communities. We are excited about your future. We raised the bar high and you rose to the challenge. Completing a Doctor of Pharmacy degree program is not easy. You have demonstrated to us that you can accomplish anything you put your mind to do. It is hard to believe that 3 years have passed. We thank you for allowing UCSF to be part of your professional and educational journey. There is no doubt that you are a class that embraces asking why not, and questioning the status quo. Although you have completed a new curriculum, you continue to walk in the UCSF School of Pharmacy's tradition of excellence, innovation, and approaching problem solving with a scientific mindset. Congratulations, class of 2021. On behalf of the UCSF Pharmacy community, we wish you the best as you continue to pursue your professional, educational, and personal goals. And remember that your UCSF family will always be here for you. Thank you. At this time in the program, we recognize exceptional educators. Before I do, I would like to acknowledge and say thank you to a special subset of our educators, our clinical pharmacy residents and fellows who will be leaving us in June. This special group of educators and practitioners are essential to the success of our program. Thank you for your service. More than 3 decades ago, the Long Foundation helped us establish a means to recognize the outstanding educators in our midst through the Long Teaching Award program. Thanks to the Foundation's support, Teaching Award recipients receive both a certificate of recognition and a cash prize. I would like to highlight the outstanding educators honored by the class of 2021. The 2 awardees had the opportunity to teach all members of the class, and their contributions took place during the first 2 years of our PharmD program. First-year Teacher of the Year goes to Dr. J.Q. Shin, Director of the Cardiovascular Science and Therapeutics theme. The class said Dr. Shin's cardiovascular theme was well-organized, fun, and engaging. Dr. Shin's course was challenging, but he provided us with everything that was needed to succeed in his class through guidelines, drug tables, studies, and scripts to pre-work videos. Dr. Shin's genuine care for his students can also be seen outside the classroom as well. He has always been supportive and understanding about life circumstances. Dr. Shin epitomizes what it means to be a professor at UCSF. He is intelligent and well-versed in his profession, and he is also able to explain these concepts to students in a way that encourages the development of our clinical thinking. His kind heart and caring attitude has inspired the class of 2021. Congratulations, Dr. Shin. Second-year Teacher of the Year is Dr. Rupa Tuan. She taught pharmacology and multiple integrated themes. The class said Dr. Tuan is an excellent professor and an invaluable resource as we tackled pharmacology topics. It is obvious she is extremely knowledgeable, but more than that, she is an effective educator. Dr. Tuan displayed mastery of complex topics through her ability to clearly and effectively teach. She worked to engage the class, and her willingness to provide summary information eased the mind of the students. We are so lucky to have a wonderful professor like Dr. Tuan. Congratulations, Dr. Tuan. The class recognized outstanding preceptors in their introductory pharmacy practice experiences during the first and second year. We are pleased to honor Preceptor of the Year in Community Pharmacy, Dr. Cassia Young. Preceptor of the Year in Health Systems Pharmacy, Dr. Johnny Rao. Preceptor of the Year in Health Systems Pharmacy Longitudinal Experience, Dr. Rebecca Flores. Congratulations to the awardees. Our students complete their advanced pharmacy practice experiences at 5 programs throughout California. Students at each program selected an outstanding teacher to honor. The Fresno program honors Dr. John Chang, Veterans Affairs, Central California Healthcare System. The Greater Sacramento program honors Dr. Chi Leong Lai, California Poison Control System. The Los Angeles Orange County program honors Dr. Jesse Wisniewski, Cedars-Sinai Medical Center. The North Bay program honors Dr. Nita Basson, North Bay Healthcare. The San Francisco Bay Area program honors Dr. Erica Wang, Stanford Hospitals and Clinics. Congratulations to our awardees. The class of 2021 asked a member of our School of Pharmacy family to speak as part of this evening's ceremony and selected our Associate Dean of Students, Cindy Watchmaker, for this honor. It is with great enthusiasm that I get to introduce our Associate Dean of Students, Cindy Watchmaker. Dean Watchmaker received her undergraduate degree from the University of California, Davis, and a Master of Education in Higher Education and Student Affairs from the University of Vermont. Dean Watchmaker joined the School of Pharmacy in 1998 as Director of Student and Curricular Affairs. She was promoted to Assistant Dean in 2002 and Associate Dean in 2007. She has served in a leadership role in California public higher education for more than 30 years. Dean Watchmaker has held numerous positions at the regional and national level and presented regularly for higher education organizations, including the National Association of Student Affairs Administrators and the American College Personnel Association. She is active in the American Association of Colleges of Pharmacy, AACP, and was appointed to the AACP Special Committee on Admissions, which developed the White Paper on Pharmacy Admissions, developing a diverse workforce to meet the healthcare needs of an increasingly diverse society. And she led efforts to implement cooperative admissions guidelines across U.S. schools of pharmacy. On a personal note, this will be Cindy's last commencement ceremony as our Associate Dean of Student Affairs, as she will retire at the end of June. Our hearts are filled with mixed emotions, as Cindy is a beloved leader in the School of Pharmacy. I believe that the class of 2021 would agree that Cindy is a staunch advocate for students. Her work over the years has enhanced and expanded initiatives to support student success, build community, and foster professional development. The support for and mentorship of students that she provides always reflects excellence, integrity, sensitivity, empathy, enthusiasm, and compassion. For her outstanding leadership, management skills, and service for more than 2 decades at UCSF, Dean Watchmaker was awarded the 2019 Chancellor Award for Exceptional University Management. Dean Watchmaker embodies the qualities of a trusted and well-respected colleague in the school. Along with our campus colleagues, she is sought after routinely for her expert advice on student affairs-related issues, as well as advice on curricular policy. I am personally and professionally indebted to Dean Watchmaker. She taught me everything I know about working with students in higher education. When an issue comes up, I often say to myself, what would Cindy do, or what would Cindy say? We wish Dean Watchmaker well as she transitions to the next chapter in her life. She will be missed. Dean Watchmaker, on behalf of the School of Pharmacy family, I say thank you for your service and thank you for being you. Associate Dean Watchmaker.
Greetings, graduates, family, friends, and colleagues. Class of 2021, what an honor it is to speak to you tonight as we celebrate this incredible milestone in your life. I knew some of you before the PharmD program started, and I got to know some of you in admissions. And yes, I remember your applications. And I got to know some of you through the thoughtful and spirited discussions we had about what was working and often what was not working in our new curriculum. We appreciated your honesty and your candor. You kept us on our toes, and we expected nothing less. You are a special group, and I've worked with many classes. This evening, I'd like to talk about principles that have been meaningful in my career as I, like you, transition to a new chapter. Over the course of my professional life, I've learned that the keys to success and fulfillment rest in the fundamentals. It all comes back to basics. I'd like to highlight 3 basics important in my professional life for you to consider as you move to the next step in your journey. I'd like to talk about excellence, integrity, and aligning our personal and professional selves. Excellence. We know what excellence is. As pharmacists, you have a particular responsibility to be accurate in what you do because the lives of your patients and the quality of the care you and your colleagues provide depend upon it. I want to talk about the excellence that characterizes you as a professional. I encourage each of you to continue to make excellence your signature. There is truly no substitute for it. Excellence does not mean being perfect. Excellence lies in our capacity to learn and grow, to try new things, and to embrace the lessons born of experience. This excellence is at the heart of innovation. Excellence is being true to your word, being counted on to follow through when there's a problem, and being the one there with creativity and care, no matter how long it takes when a solution is needed. Excellence is giving your best, being an active ally to ensure all voices and perspectives are included and heard. Excellence is sticking with difficult situations. Therein can be the greatest impact, the most valuable lessons, and the most meaningful aspects of your work. Excellence puts you in a strong position to advocate for yourself when needed, and most importantly, to be an effective and respected advocate for your patients. Attending to excellence is being a custodian of your reputation. It's not only about your knowledge and clinical skill, it's how you do your work, how you collaborate, how you earn the trust of patients and colleagues, and how you rise above the fray to do the work and meet the challenge of the moment. Which brings me to the second point, integrity. Some refer to integrity as what you do when no one's watching or when no one seems to notice. I believe our integrity makes all the difference. It's about our actions and decisions, large and small, making sure that they're aligned with our professional mission and ethics. The great news is that our integrity is completely in our hands and under our control. Integrity allows us to look in the mirror, knowing we are operating in a way that makes our loved ones proud. For me, integrity has been about taking the high road, an approach that has never failed me. Leaning on integrity has been essential when things are difficult. My integrity gives me clarity to see solutions. It has given me strength to make hard decisions. Grounding to honor the perspective and dignity of others, and it's offered a sense of peace that I've operated in alignment with my core values to do what is right. Excellence and integrity are central to your work as leaders and professionals, no matter your position or your role. The third thing I'd like to discuss this evening is integrating the personal and professional. How will you step into both dimensions of your life? I strongly believe that we have to be intentional in deciding what the story of our life will be. How we exercise our choices in these two dimensions of our life is key. My career, like that of many, has had its seasons, times when I've stepped in professionally and times when I've had to step back and step into the personal part of my life. I've also learned that the concept of balance is inherently problematic. For as hard as I've tried, I've never quite gotten there. I can always do more professionally, and there are always things I can tend to personally. The challenge is to integrate the two in a way that reflects what we want and value in life. We will each envision our life story differently. What matters the most is that you create what's right for you. It's important to be intentional about that, or you may find that time and opportunities, personally and professionally, slip away. My guess is that deep down inside, you have a fairly good idea of what you want your story to be. I can say that looking within has always worked for me. I'm glad that I listened to those inner voices, even when the path I took was different than what my mentors and colleagues, who I respected and admired, thought it should be. Work has always offered me meaning and purpose, that I was contributing to something larger and to others, but I knew that it was not everything. My personal goals were as important as the professional ones, and while navigating a demanding position, marriage, and raising 2 active sons was not easy, I stand before you grateful that I nurtured both in crafting my own life. So create your story with purpose and intention. Listen within. You won't regret it. Class of 2021, you have a whole new title to try on. Doctor. At first, it's a title that may have you looking over your shoulder, a bit surreal and strange. You may experience just this in this ceremony, but it is a title you have earned. Carry it forward with pride, grace, and humility. Pride in the accomplishment it represents. Grace and humility to reflect reverence for the responsibility it carries. My niece is working on her doctorate, and we cannot wait to call her doctor. And because we are so proud, we tease her about the day we can call her Dr. Ann. Family and friends joining us this evening, take some time as you celebrate your graduate to help them try on this new, hard-earned title. Call them doctor. Help them get comfortable and used to it. You no doubt feel pride similar to that within my family. Class of 2021, I encourage you to take a moment during this ceremony or in the celebrations and days to follow to reflect on what you've accomplished and what this means for you and those you love. To consider the hard work at UCSF and long before that has gotten you to this day. To think about how you as a class have traveled together. And to remember those who supported, touched, and mentored you along the way. I hope that you find both gratitude and pride in this reflection, with plenty of time to simply soak in and celebrate this incredible milestone. Class of 2021, I am honored to graduate from UCSF to a new life chapter alongside each one of you. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dean Watchmaker. Now we come to the main event, the primary reason we have all gathered here this evening, the conferring of the Doctor of Pharmacy degree on the members of the class of 2021. This honor appropriately falls upon our Chancellor, Dr. Sam Hawgood. Dr. Hawgood completed his medical training at the University of Queensland in Brisbane and trained as a resident in pediatrics. His clinical and research interests center upon respiratory distress syndrome, a major cause of newborn morbidity and mortality. He has served in almost every capacity in his 37-year UCSF tenure, and now as the 10th UCSF Chancellor. His professional affiliations and honors are many. While I could detail his impressive pedigree, it is his values I most appreciate, his genuine care for the campus, the consistency of his approach, and his remarkable vision has marked his chancellorship. We are fortunate to have him. It's my great pleasure to introduce Chancellor Sam Hawgood.
Hello, I'm Sam Hawgood, Chancellor of UCSF. It goes without saying that we are living in a challenging time. With the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic, the routine of our daily lives was upended, and your UCSF experience was transformed almost overnight. On behalf of my entire leadership team, including Dean Guglielmo, we appreciate your responsiveness and resiliency during this unprecedented time. We are happy to finally celebrate your achievements. I am proud of everyone at UCSF, our frontline healthcare workers, scientists, educators, staff, and you, our learners, for rising to the occasion during this public health crisis. And I am thankful for the leadership of our deans as they continue to rapidly change circumstances in response to public health guidance. You are the first class to complete a transformed course of study, a novel, highly integrated structure. You worked year-round for 3 years at a rigorous pace. You cultivated curiosity and the spirit of inquiry to solve complex problems. You are the pioneers of a new cutting-edge curriculum. And you did all of this facing the challenges and changes brought on by COVID. We appreciate your flexibility as we continued to refine our policies and procedures. Through it all, you have shown strength and solidarity supporting our community. At times like these, it is our values and shared purpose that has empowered us to respond speedily and selflessly to the needs of our patients and the communities we serve. The racial injustices across healthcare, our economy, and our society have become glaringly apparent. And you reminded us that it is not enough to react to the growing civil unrest in the world around us. We must lead, learn, and look inward as individuals and as institutions. Here at UCSF, through our anti-racism initiative, we are committed to reflect upon our own privileges and practices, and to recognize our weaknesses and biases. We must strive to remove the behaviors that perpetrate inequality and exclusion. So as we look towards our future, I encourage you to remember your time at UCSF as a period of opportunity seized in our relentless pursuit to evolve, innovate, and improve. The resolve and resilience that you have shown throughout the pandemic has been itself an extraordinary lesson that I hope you will carry with you. The great Nelson Mandela once said, "Many things seem impossible until they are done." Today, what once might have seemed impossible to you is now done. Each one of you has become a pharmacist, a tremendous achievement and responsibility. So please practice what you've learned to improve health and wellness in your communities. Our goal at UCSF has been to train you for a lifetime of caring, learning, and discovering ways to make the world a better place. You can make a difference, and we trust you are prepared for the challenges and opportunities you will encounter ahead. Now you, in turn, leave us your legacy, a university that has been enriched by your talent and time with us. I thank each of you for your passion, your spirit, and your hard work, all of which make up the diverse fabric of UCSF. You are graduating in a time of phenomenal change. Now more than ever, we must commit ourselves to constantly aim to develop new treatments and even cures to some of the world's deadliest diseases, including the novel coronavirus. And we also must innovate and iterate new models and methods of care to meet new expectations from the public, our patients, and of course, we must strive for equity in the care that we provide. As pharmacists, you are poised to assume important roles in addressing all of these challenges. It is hard to predict where these waves of change will take us, but what we do know is that our future is in your hands, and I look forward with anticipation to watching you define the future of pharmacy. So by the authority vested in me by the Regents of the University of California, I hereby confer upon you the degree Doctor of Pharmacy. My congratulations to you all.
As the final step in the ceremonial transition from student to UCSF alumnus, graduates receive their doctoral hoods. Graduates have been invited to have a special person with whom they are celebrating today hood them when their name is called. Presenting the class of 2021 this evening is Vice Dean Sharon Yeomans and Associate Dean for Student Affairs Cynthia Watchmaker. Deans Watchmaker and Yeomans, please present the Doctor of Pharmacy graduates, the class of 2021.
Dr. Armando Aguirre, Dr. Francesca Alcala, Dr. Matthew Aladino, Dr. Jacqueline Eng, Dr. Amanda Marie Baer, Dr. Jessica Elise B., Dr. Ellen Berkeley, Dr. Sabrina Lynn Bula, Dr. Zachary Carlson, Dr. Dao Chang, Dr. Brian Chen, Dr. Catherine Chen, Dr. Lauren Chen, Dr. Sarah Chong, Dr. Nora Annette Cortez, Dr. William R. Dager, Dr. David Dang, Dr. Kevin DiCioso, Dr. Alexandra Jane Diorio, Dr. Julia Dinger, Dr. Brenda Doe, Dr. Shelley Doe, Dr. Lena Dole,
Dr. Gabrielle Driller, Dr. Jane Dew, Dr. Jacqueline El Sokari, Dr. Michael Fishala, Dr. Mariah Claire Foley, Dr. Umar Gomez Estrada, Dr. Rodolfo Gonzalez Rios, Dr. Hui Dang Ha, Dr. Elizabeth Hayes, Dr. Ashley K. B. Herr, Dr. Brian Herrera, Dr. Alex Huang, Dr. Kaylin Hudson, Dr. Jenny Lai Jane Hum, Dr. Asher Jung, Dr. Patricia Kuttershaw, Dr. Min Lei, Dr. Vivian Lei, Dr. Susanna Inchuan Lee, Dr. Julie Lim, Dr. Monica Lamonto, Dr. Brian Liu, Dr. Sharon Luong,
Dr. Janice Lee, Dr. Edgardo Mendoza, Jr., Dr. Kirsten Miller, Dr. Christine Min, Dr. Catherine Mirza, Dr. Rachel Mong, Dr. Catherine Nguyen, Dr. Kimchi Nguyen, Dr. Tin Hung Nguyen, Dr. Vicky Nguyen, Dr. Dukanwa Crystal Nguyen Tan, Dr. Neve O'Grady, Dr. Ami Maria Okazaki, Dr. Melanie Ann Hotea Paragas, Dr. Daniel Perez, Dr. Jessica H. Pham, Dr. Stephen Pham, Dr. Christine Lu Fan, Dr. Emily Placencia, Dr. Melvin Quindoy, Jr., Dr. Megan Robertson, Dr. Kimberly Rosario, Dr. Brandon Ross,
Dr. Manuel Seridarian, Dr. Sarah Fatima Sheikh, Dr. Neil Shea, Dr. Kristen Asako Shimoda, Dr. Tristan Storm, Dr. Kamini Subramaniam, Dr. Laura Sun, Dr. Cindy Track, Dr. Daniel Tran, Dr. Kelvin Tran, Dr. Kyle Tran, Dr. Colette Trung, Dr. Jasper Trung, Dr. Tran Huyan Truong, Dr. Judy Viduya, Dr. Mayor Carr Verk, Dr. Terry Vo, Dr. Roy Wang, Dr. Doug Woods, Dr. Alice Wu, Dr. Fanny Yi, Dr. Hayri Connie Yu, Dr. Nadia Zargum.
Class of 2021, at your white coat ceremony nearly 3 years ago, you took the oath of a pharmacist. In doing so, you affirmed your transition from layperson to student pharmacist. This evening marks another significant transition and an appropriate time to reaffirm your oath. As is tradition, I have asked distinguished alumnus Dr. John Skall to lead the class of 2021 in the oath of a pharmacist. As you enter the ranks of our alumni family, it seems only fitting that Dr. Skall, an alumnus recognized for his extraordinary contributions to the profession, lead you in this oath. Class of 2021, along with your classmates, please stand to recite the oath following Dr. Skall.
Please repeat after me. I promise to devote myself
I promise to devote myself
to a lifetime of service to others
to a lifetime of service to others
through the profession of pharmacy.
through the profession of pharmacy.
In fulfilling this vow,
In fulfilling this vow,
I will consider the welfare of humanity
I will consider the welfare of humanity
and relief of suffering
and relief of suffering
my primary concerns.
my primary concerns.
I will apply my knowledge, experience, and skills
I will apply my knowledge, experience, and skills
to the best of my ability
to the best of my ability,
to assure optimal outcomes for my patients.
to assure optimal outcomes for my patients.
I will respect and protect
I will respect and protect
all personal and health information
all personal and health information
entrusted to me.
entrusted to me.
I will accept the lifelong obligation to improve
I will accept the lifelong obligation to improve
my professional knowledge and competence.
My professional knowledge and competence.
I will hold myself and my colleagues
I will hold myself and my colleagues
to the highest principles
to the highest principles
of our profession's moral, ethical, and legal conduct.
Of our profession's moral, ethical, and legal conduct.
I will embrace and advocate
I will embrace and advocate
changes that improve patient care.
Changes that improve patient care.
I will utilize my knowledge, skills, experiences, and values
my knowledge, skills, experiences, and values
to prepare the next generation of pharmacists.
To prepare the next generation of pharmacists.
I take these vows voluntarily
I take these vows voluntarily
with the full realization
With the full realization
of the responsibility with which I am entrusted
of the responsibility with which I am entrusted
by the public.
by the public.
Class of 2021, these last 3 years will not be your final voyage through uncharted waters. This will not be the last time you take on risk others would avoid. And this will not be the last time your professional accomplishments will be celebrated. All that said, please do not ever allow your successes to cause you to forget your humanity, your deep privilege to serve others in need. The recent congratulatory words of your very first patient, Jerry, perhaps clarifies your navigation as you travel across future uncharted waters. Just be yourself and demonstrate concern for people. Families, friends, faculty, and students, please join me in congratulating the class of 2021, the nation's newest and finest and only pioneering doctors of pharmacy. We have now come to the end of the 2021 commencement ceremony. I send my thanks to all who joined us this evening to celebrate this special class of graduates. We share feelings of great joy, pride, and love for these incredible pharmacists. We will conclude this evening's ceremony with a greeting card from students, faculty, staff, and alumni who send their congratulations to this amazing class.
also this amazing opportunity to be able to show my greatest support system, my family, what I've been doing and how their persistence and their hard work has gotten me so far.